Black Friday's podium finish at Silverstone sees him leapfrog Berkey to take second in the Drivers' Championship, just 4 points behind Barbance. Orax's win moves him up to 4th place behind Berkey, with Mars and Zyros close behind. With only 20 points separating the top 6 drivers, there's still plenty to play for at the halfway point of the season. In the Constructors, a strong finish for the VCARB drivers moves them ahead of McLaren, 29 points behind Championship leaders Ferrari. McLaren are 2 points further behind, 5 points ahead of Red Bull, whose 1-2 finish in Silverstone jumps them up to 4th, 9 points ahead of Williams. After the first runs in qualifying, Orax took the early lead with teammate Takubi, Berkey and Black Fridays close behind. These positions stood until the final runs, when Berkey's run briefly propelled him to the head of the field. Takubi's final lap jumped him up to 1st, around a 10th ahead. An invalidation for Orax on his final lap prevented him from improving, and he lined up 3rd, just 300 slower than Berkey. Mars's final lap saw him jump ahead of Black Fridays to take 4th spot on the grid.
And we are racing here in Las Vegas. It's a decent start from the VCARB driver as they run down towards turn number 1. Orax having a bit of a look to the outside. Berkey to the inside, trying to take the race lead here on lap 1. A bit of contact between them, going 3 wide now. Orax, Mars and Takubi battling away. Not a great start for our pole sitter, losing a position. We've already got yellow flags as well. And that is Jack, who looks to have had a spin. Coming out of turn 1, who got some wing flying off. I think that was Orax losing some wing on the start here. Down towards turn number 5, we go 3 wide here. Takubi back through into the lead. It's a 1-2 for Red Bull once again, and that's Berkey losing the rear end of his car, dropping from 1st all the way down to 6th. Not a great start for him. Bradders, what a start, up to 3rd, currently running in the podium position. The Mercedes driver with a great launch off the grid. Berkey's picked up a 3-second time penalty as well. Really poor start for the VCARB driver as he tumbles down the order here as he picked up some damage. Looks like it on the left hand side of his wing. Quite a few drivers with some damage around the outside. Kills are up to 7th, gets past the damaged VCARB driver towards turn number 12. Rocket with a sensational start here, coming out the blocks, already up to 9th place. A bit of a snap there as they come out to the corner. More wing flying off there. I think that might be Kilzer, who's picked up some damage as well. Rocket trying to challenge. Could he even end up in P7 by the end of this straight? Gaining on Berkey in front. Oscar as well, as we have a massive gaggle of cars. Black Fridays goes for 3rd place further up the road, getting himself back into the podium position, but down the inside, Rocket coming, charging in towards turn number 14 to take that 7th place position. What a start to the race from him. More damage flying off in the background as well as they continue to battle away here down in the back end of the field. Oscar getting past as well, fighting with Rob Katz and Zyros as they run down towards the final corner to finish the first lap. Takubi leads us after the first lap is completed, but here we go. What a battle we've had in these opening stages. Couple drivers coming into the pit lane, picking up time penalties as well. Takubi leading his teammate Orax in 2nd, but I believe may have picked up some wing damage. Was it him? It doesn't actually look like it. So let's have a look and see if we can see who has lost a bit of their front wing here. Zyros has also caught the back of Rocky, so could be looking for a move now as they make their way down the strip. Should be a nice easy pass for the Ferrari driver with the DRS up at the front as well. Here comes Takubi to retake the race lead. Black Friday's making his way through potentially as well. Is he going to get close enough? Doesn't look like it, but Zyros is through as well. And Rob and Luca both getting past Barbance, sorry, that they were passing. Rob as well past Berkey, gets himself up into 9th place past the damaged VCARB driver. And now Barbance has to fight once again. Got to make some more moves. Berkey still trying to challenge, though, up the inside through the final corner. The VCARB driver goes and retakes that 9th position once again in towards turn number 1. No chance that time around. And Rob has to settle for second best, sorry, in this train. Although Berkey's still struggling for pace very much. That damage affecting him throughout this race, and he's going to have to probably come in at some point to fix that damage. In towards turn number 5 we go and roll up the inside. Luca having a look as well, going 2 wide, 2 by 2. Barbance looks to the outside as well. Luca gets the move done just about. No, he doesn't. Has to back out of it once again. And now Barbance up the inside, going to try and look for the move here, heading into the Mickey Mouse, but again, can't quite find his way through and has to tuck back in. Barbance is also carrying a bit of front wing damage as well, mind you. So that is probably why he's struggling so much to fight his way through this pack. Luca again, another Haas with not a great exit coming out of that corner, and that could give Barbans a chance now to look to the outside, switching now to the inside as they make their way on towards the strip, and it looks like Barbans might be able to get this move secured up the inside of the Haas. Driver gets the car rotated in just about and onto the power. Barbans pulls himself up into P11 and slowly but surely cutting his way up through the field now, trying to close in on our lead drivers who are swapping positions once again. The two Red Bull drivers working very well together here in this race. Rocket and Zaros as well swapping positions here as they make their way through down the strip. Barbans is putting pressure on Berkey as well as they run towards the start-finish line once again up the inside for the McLaren driver. Berkey trying to hang it to the outside in towards turn number 1. Is there a space up the inside for the McLaren to lunge? There is a space. It opens up and Barbans is through into the top 10 now onto the back of Rob Kaz and going to be looking to try and get himself up even further, trying and get himself into some clean air where he can start to push. Despite that wing damage, his pace still looks strong. Zaros is through up into 7th once again, gets himself back past, and we have some more swaps happening. Berkey losing even more positions down to 12th now, fighting around the outside there with Luca and into the wall. A big hit there for the V-Carb driver, and I think some more wing gone from his car. Looks like he's very, very damaged now. Both end plates gone, and in fact a big chunk of that wing missing on the left-hand side. Surely Berkey going to have to come in for a pit stop at this rate. So let's see how this affects the race now with our race leader, having to navigate some traffic. A bit of oversteer there from Sert, and that's going to allow Orax through now. He continues on. He's up to P5. Got one more car in front of him as well. They will have to navigate. Mars through ahead of Rob Kaz. Got an extra car between himself and the race leader before the pit stops. But let's see where do they come out relative to the drivers who stayed out a bit longer. Takubi fighting in loyalty. There's contacts with the McLaren drivers. He makes his way through the pit exit. Kai with some wing damage now. The Red Bull making contact as they made their way out to the pit lane. He comes out in the race lead though. Kai with damage to both sides of his front wing now. Here comes Orax to the inside to take second place away, and Black Friday sticks the nose in as well, trying to find his way through. An opportunistic dive from the Ferrari driver, but doesn't get far enough alongside to make the move. But now in towards turn number 7 through the Mickey Mouse chicane we go. Wheel to wheel. You don't usually see two cars fighting through here, but Black Friday's around the outside, pulls himself up into 3rd, and now Mars going to be looking for a move as well. This damaged McLaren really starting to struggle out here. Sir not too far behind as well, and here comes Mars through turn number 11, trying to find his way through. Up the inside he goes, and Mars now through into 4th as well. 4 cars past all of the traffic. Brad is on the back of this train as well, could still be in with a shot at a potential podium finish here. We'll see how he gets on in his Mercedes car, whether he can fight his way through. But the top 4 drivers have cleared all the traffic. Sertdogan looking to challenge as well. Here we go, down towards turn number 14. Kai is fighting back, so is Sertdogan. 3 wide down towards 14. Braddock gets in on this battle as well, and Mars losing 3 positions in one straight. Sert is through to 4th, Kai through to 5th with the damage. Braddock's looking to fight his way past though, and still running wheel to wheel as well with Mars as they head now on the run down towards the start-finish line. Mars and Braddock struggling to find their way through the traffic, and they have lost the leading train. 1.2 seconds between Black Fridays and Sertdogan, and it's a repeat of what we saw in Silverstone. Orax to Kubi Black Fridays battling it away for the top 3 positions. Braddock has a small amount of front wing damage. Mars is now trying to go around the outside of the McLaren driver. Gets himself through up into P5. Brad is going to look to challenge as well down towards turn number 5, looking to the inside here of the McLaren driver, trying to squeeze his way up the inside. Gets later on the brakes and gets the car turned in and up into P6 now for Bradders as well. Got Sert to clear as well, but the gap now 1.3 seconds between Black Fridays and Sert. They're starting to lose some time to our leading drivers. And only 15 scored by Ferrari. Kai retiring in the pit lane as well. That would put Red Bull up into the championship lead. Bradis has picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and there's a spinner there. Takubi has spun here on the streets of Vegas. Last season's drivers' champion was leading this race for many, many laps, has spun and picked up damage, and that is going to be oh so costly. And in a fight which was just a brief moment ago for the fight for 3rd, now becomes the fight for, the fight for 4th now becomes the fight for 3rd. Mars now runs in P3 in the podium positions. Orax and Black Fridays battle it out to try and see who is going to be coming out on top here in Vegas. Are we going to see 6 different winners in 6 races with a Black Fridays victory? looking to the inside in towards turn number 14. Barbans gives him the squeeze over towards the inside. They come back over, and now up the inside goes the Red Bull driver. Barbans looking to squeeze his way back past, but it's going to give Rocket an opportunity to slice his way through. Rocket gets back ahead of Barbans through to 7th and could be on in the challenge to get this P6 finish as well. Let's see on the run down towards turn 1 the damage Red Bull does. Rocket looks to the inside. Here he comes, the kick Sauber driver. Late on the brakes, dives to the inside. Barbans looks for the move as well, trying to follow through, but loses the rear end. We've got a speeder further back as well. One of the Haas drivers, that will be Luca, losing the car, but he continues on his way. Rocket is through into 6th now. Takubi continues on in 7th. Barbans looking for a way through. Looking to the outside now as they make their way down towards turn number 5. Takubi once again defending on the inside, but has he overcooked it this time around? No, he gets the car stopped this time around, and that will allow the Red Bull driver to hold on to this position as they make their way in towards the Mickey Mouse chicane. The gap continuing to drop, I think, here as well as they make their way through towards turn number 12. Aurak still leading. Black Fridays just waiting and waiting and waiting as they run in towards turn number 12. Now, Aurak goes deep. He lets him through. The chicken games have started now. We can see the Williams drivers coming into frame as well. 1.2 seconds back for Shan. If something goes catastrophically wrong up at the front, that could bring the two Williams into play. Across the detection point we go, and it's DRS for the Ferrari of Black Fridays, who pulls himself alongside now as they run towards 14. Shannon Mars battling as well. Mars is through to 3rd in towards the final few corners of the lap we go though, and it's going to be the crucial move he needed for Black Fridays in towards turn number 14, unless Auras can try and challenge him to the line with some slipstream action. But is it going to be enough, or is it going to be too little too late for the Red Bull, who pulls to the inside? Across the line they run wheel to reel. It's Black Fridays who wins in Las Vegas. 6 winners in 6 races. Auras 28 thousandths of a second behind. Mars comes home in 3rd. Shan comes home in 4th. Brad is a career best 5th. Barbans and Rocket, it's going to be 6th for Barbans. Rocket losing that DRS in that final lap. Oscar will come home in P8 as well, and we got Luca and Sir battling as well. Luca got to the inside line, pulls himself alongside and ahead of Sir, but that 6-second penalty is going to be costly for him. And ultimately, he will be coming home in the P10 position. Sert will try and hang it around the outside through 17 as well. He gets him on the track as well by 36 thousandths of a second. Next will be Kilzer, who's coming up towards the line now. His teammate just behind as well. And I think the two Aston Martin drivers are going to come home here in formation. A race that they were probably hoping to do a little bit better in here tonight. And ultimately, they come home 11th and 12th.
Almost all the grid started on the medium tyre, with just Sert and Kai choosing the hard tyre towards the rear of the field. A mistake on the first lap saw Berkey pick up damage, dropping him down the order to 8th by the end of the lap. The first 6 cars quickly broke away from the rest of the field, making good use of DRS to extend the gap. Despite early wing damage, Barbans made his way from the back of the field, getting up to P10 by the end of lap 5. As the medium runners began to make their pit stops, Sert and Kai found themselves up in 4th and 5th, the lack of a safety car working well for their strategies. A spin for Takubi on lap 14 saw him pick up damage and eventually retire from the race after strategically delaying Barbans' progress for a number of laps. As the final lap started, Aurochs led Black Fridays by just a couple of tenths, but the Ferrari driver used the DRS down the strip to take the lead, ultimately taking the checkered flag just 300ths ahead of Aurochs. The Williams drivers of Mars and Shan took P3 and P4 around 1.5 seconds behind. Black Friday's win in Vegas propels him to the lead of the Drivers' Championship, 13 points ahead of Barbans. Berkey's DNF drops him behind Aurochs in P3 and Mars in P4, who both finished strongly in Vegas. The top 5 drivers are separated by just 27 points, so with 2 rounds to go there is still plenty to play for. In the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari extend their lead to 42 points, with Aurochs' second place finish moving Red Bull up to second in the standings. Williams leapfrog McLaren to take third, while a poor showing from the VCARB team drops them down to fifth, still just 52 points behind the leaders.